Hey, welcome to the 2026 GM Hotel Playbook, episode 36 of the 3&6 podcast. Oh, episode 36.
Yeah.
3&6.
And it's going to be a competition.
It will. May the best Ben win.
But I'm not called Ben.
Zing.
Okay, we are switching the script. So we're talking, if we were hotel GMs with today's market and tools, what are we actually going to focus on? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to read you a couple of statements, and I want you to choose where you stand with these statements.
Mm-hmm. Completely opposite side to him.
I hope that they oppose,
Well,
but
I'm
let's
sat down, so you
get
can
into
stand
it.
all you want.
Oh, you sat down? Can't tell.
Yeah.
Right. First one here. If I was a hotel GM in 2026, my number one priority would be owning direct demand, not relying on OTAs to do the heavy lifting.
If I was a GM,
Partial agree.
I'd
It'd have to be a partial agree on that one, unfortunately.
I feel like there's a fence here because OTAs give you exposure and give the customer choice, whereas direct reduces your commission. It's your guest to lose once they've gone direct. So
Yeah, and direct should be your cheapest channel, but it isn't always. You know, if your hotel rate, if your rate parity's out completely,
it depends how you acquire the guest as well. If you're paying for each individual guest and you don't have any organic or any email, then it's going to cost you as much. So I'd probably, I wouldn't focus. I don't know, actually. It depends where you are. Gosh, we're opening a can of worms here. It depends where you are in the life cycle of the hotel as well. It depends. Am I a new hotel that doesn't have a repeat guest? Do I have a CRM to speak of? If I didn't have a CRM, I had if it was a new opening, then yes, I would rely heavier on the OTAs to get new clients.
Yeah, well, you'd have
guests.
to. You'd have to because you've still got to get revenue through. It's got to be a successful business.
And obviously you're paying commissions on actualized. So if I was new hotel with a limited or no past or previous guest history, and I wasn't part of a chain, I was independent, and if I wasn't in like a massive metropolis or I'm going to get passing transient trade, then I would rely heavier on OTAs. However, if I was an expansion or another property that had a brand, I own properties in a similar location, I could rely on a customer database to get people in, then I would probably reduce my reliance on OTAs and go more for my own media.
And I think for both of them, that's got to be the longer term objective is to reduce your reliance on OTAs. And where that statement then comes into its own is that you should be concentrating on your direct booking. But again, it's like such a broad spectrum where and when it is, especially when you look at the likes of, booking.com, you can be charged anywhere between sort of 15%. And then when you add everything else on top of it, like, mobile charges, sponsored listings, whatever it's going to be, that percentage goes up quite considerably, where the average cost for booking from a direct website is something like 4 to 6%, all inclusive.
Which is much lower than it would be through OTA. So I guess our reliance would be varied, and our recommendation would be varied depending on more details in the hotel. So I think I would focus more, largely speaking, on my own media and my own direct
short, medium, long-term goal would be to do that, to transition away more from OTAs, depending on.
I think it's pretty crystal clear there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's won the point as well.
I feel as if you both added a lot of great points to that argument, so we're just going to call that one a draw.
Bullshit.
Great arguments. Great arguments. All right. Next question. If I were a hotel GM in 2026, I'd prioritize fixing leaks in the booking funnel over generating more traffic.
Ooh. Yeah, I definitely would. I am going to sneeze, and I don't want to do this into the microphone.
It was so matter of fact as well.
Well,
I am going to yes, that's a great point. I am going to sneeze. What?
I was saying,
is this a tactic? Because I am so very confused.
No. Oh, now it's going to be. No, I would definitely. I thought you were going to ask about literally fixing leaks.
Yeah, so did I.
It's going to go on a rant about products.
What's this got to do with digital marketing?
I absolutely would, because once a guest is in the funnel, and it is cheaper to fix the leaks and get them out the other end than it is to try and generate net new traffic and net new bookings into the funnel. Absolutely, without a doubt. You've got free tools now that will record and like Clarity will now record and give you an AI summary of where people are dropping off of your website.
The AI summary is a new addition. That's good.
Across an aggregation of all of your traffic. So that is almost spoon feeding you problems in your booking flow, whereas this is generating net new bookings, which are going to cost you largely if you're doing it on a performance basis. So this is cheaper, I think.
But don't you find? So I don't disagree with you, and I think it makes a lot of sense. You have to plug those gaps, but don't you find that it seems to be the will of a lot of property side decision makers is just to keep adding more and more to the funnel?
Yes, and I think that's down to vanity. That's a vanity metric. Oh, look how many people are. Look at the numbers. Look at the figures.
I think it's probably also an element of lack of understanding and lack of knowledge of where the leaks are and how to plug them. Clarity being an excellent example. That's only been a recent addition. That tool hasn't existed. Now that tool does exist, or gives you that ability to see where you are losing people that potentially you've paid for at the very top and then just dropped out. And there's only a few that are coming through here. It makes no sense, absolutely no sense to continue to do that. But those tools didn't exist, and it was then down to, agencies or internal teams or a mixture of both. And I think if you don't have a good agency, or you don't have somebody internal that knows what they're talking about, the simplest solution is to add more at the top, because the knowledge is not there on how to fix the broken funnel.
Yeah, law of averages and numbers. If you keep putting people in proportionally the same, going to come out. But it's just a lot cheaper, I think.
Yeah.
So I would fix the booking flow rather than adding new people in.
Very much so.
Because you agreed on that, again, obviously, no serious points, but I think since Ben made the main argument, we're going to give it to him.
Oh,
No,
right,
that's
okay.
bullshit.
That's fair. No, I think she makes an excellent point, actually.
I think that's bullshit.
She makes an excellent point.
Thank you. Point for me. Right.
Whoa.
So, Trish, you're essentially drawing.
I'm drawing.
You're
with,
drawing with
Quiz
faces.
Master. Yeah. This is.
No, this is great. I enjoy this. I'm almost forgiving you for that time you knew the answers. Actually,
That
no,
again.
I'll never, ever forgive you for that one.
How do you know I don't know the answers?
Because you've got a very bemused look on your face.
I'm very.
It's the only face I got.
It's the only face. This is the only face I've got.
Right. Next question. If I were a hotel GM in 2026, I'd worry if our hotel wasn't appearing in AI travel overviews, more than not being number one in old school Google search.
Nope, disagree.
And why?
Well, you're saying you'd be more worried about not showing up in AI over old school SEO. Well, you need old school SEO before you actually start to show up in AI, largely speaking, not 100% and not exclusively the same. But you need to concentrate on the foundations of SEO. Plus, more importantly, SEO is still far, far bigger than AIO. AIO is growing exponentially, but it is not at the same size as Google search. So if you are making an either or decision here, and you're going for the smaller piece that relies on the other piece to actually make it work, and you're going to ignore this other piece, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So in that case, you have to invest in SEO.
I would worry, though. And if the question is, would I worry? I would worry, because I should be appearing in those search results. And if I'm not appearing, somebody's not doing their job properly. I would argue, even though foundational SEO is important, if the question is, would I worry? Yes, I would worry, because I should be appearing in the future of search and conversational discovery.
You said that they're not doing the job properly. It's usually they're not doing the job at all,
not doing
because
the job,
SEO has been one of the most underinvested
Areas.
marketing channels in the hotel industry that we've worked in for the last decade. It's only now, honestly, in the last 12 months, where people have actually started to pay attention to it because
That's
of
the
AIO.
foundation of-
because of AIO.
So yes, it would worry.
If genuinely speaking,
Oh, he's carrying on for the point here. Go on.
no. Because genuinely speaking, if AIO wasn't so intrinsically linked, with basic principles with SEO, I don't think SEO would be as prominent as it is now.
Yeah.
If it was linked with PPC, people would be doubling down on PPC.
Right. So unfortunately, the question was not about being worried, but great,
What was the question?
great
No,
supporting
it
argument.
doesn't matter.
Can you read the question out again?
Well, it has the
Can you
word
read the
worry in
question out
it.
again?
Yeah. Okay. If I were a hotel GM, I'd worry if
It's
our
not there,
hotel.
that's fine.
Yeah, it is there, but it's not. That's not the main
out
question.
there.
Anyways, here we go. Great supporting argument, Ben. Gonna give you that. But this point goes to Tristan.
Because he waffled on like nothing.
It made sense to me.
Nothing makes sense to you. You don't know what you're talking about.
Fair.
I think the question was about worry, and I think we should let the viewers decide.
How they're not here? How are they going to decide?
Because
No,
we
you're
have to get
right.
to the
It
end of
does.
it
I
like
would
this.
worry. Yes, correct. That's what I'm saying. Great supporting argument. However, I think the overall explanation goes to Tristan this time.
That's fair.
You've got 2 more questions.
That's fair.
Don't be salty.
It's not fucking. I'm fucking salty.
So at the moment, I think Faceless One's winning.
Point for me.
In fact, if you get a point as well, we're all drawing. That's 2 apiece.
Perfect.
All to play for. The weirdest quiz you've ever done.
Right. Next
I
question.
think we're going to lose here, you know.
If I were a hotel GM in 2026, I'd ignore most of the overhyped trends from 2025 and focus on what actually drives bookings.
Agreed. Well, if they're overhyped, it means that there's no substance. It's all hype. So therefore, I would ignore them. In the definition of that question.
Oh, it's not about definition.
I know, yeah. No.
Remember, it's not about definition.
Oh,
But
hang on. Don't worry. I've got this.
I do worry.
Ben is worried.
I'm very worried. Because all right, go on. Go on, off you go.
Yeah, are you timing it?
I'm timing you. Yeah.
Actually, we'll just double check because I know you can argue over time.
Yeah, I can do.
So, if it's overhyped, it's largely because it's not
know a lot about
particularly
overhyped,
worked.
wouldn't you, buddy?
You just interrupting.
15 seconds.
We'll have to restart
Said
now.
nothing so far.
By the definition of the question, if it's overhyped, it means it's got very little substance to it. So therefore, we should largely ignore it and move on to new things in 2026, preferably not overhyped.
Well, speaking of Haywood. I mean, it's a difficult question to answer without making reference
it's a difficult question
to
to
words
answer.
like overhyped, because overhyped is subjective. Some people might think that AIO is overhyped, and the SEO is overhyped, and the email marketing is overhyped. What really is overhyped?
You.
Have you called a lot worse today? Buy better.
Yep.
Let's just like that. No, I think you have to make reference to the trends from last year. I think you have to build on, and a trend isn't always a bad thing. A trend can just be something that's
Unless
started.
it's overhyped.
Well, overhyped is subjective. How would you define if something's overhyped?
By the question.
No. How would you define
By
something?
the question.
But the question doesn't have a definition of overhyped.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
He said overhyped,
yeah.
therefore it is overhyped.
So how would you define overhyped? The word overhyped.
I would define it by being overhyped.
Go on, define the word overhyped.
I
It's
don't
quite-
need to. In the
You know
question,
you do.
yeah.
No, if we're
I
arguing
don't
over
need to.
semantics.
No, you're arguing
Okay,
over
so
semantics.
you can't tell me what overhyped means. So how can you base your argument on that?
Because I don't. I just need to answer the question.
But you don't.
I'm not basing my argument on overhyped.
What's the word overhyped?
It's been
The
told
quest-
that it's overhyped. Therefore,
What does it mean overhyped?
it's a binary definitive.
It's a binary.
Yeah, it's overhyped or it isn't. Therefore, it's overhyped.
Okay, what does overhyped mean?
In the context of that question,
Yep.
overhyped means it's overhyped.
So you can't explain.
I don't need
You
to.
don't know what
I
the
don't
word.
need to.
You don't
It's
know what the word
completely-
overhyped means.
I think we're being
Right.
told off.
This is overhyped.
No, you can't answer a question that you don't know the definition of. What does overhyped mean?
I can answer a
So,
question.
I can answer the question because I know what it means, whereas he doesn't know what overhyped means. So, no, you have to make reference to things that are.
Well, hang on. That's not
May I
defining
finish?
it.
May I finish?
No, you can't.
May I finish?
No, I think we've been told off. We have to stop now.
I fucking lost my train of thought now.
Overhyped.
He's wrong.
I'm actually going to give the point to Ben.
Why?
You mean
I mean,
why?
no, no, no.
Yeah. Why?
Obviously, I know why, but why? What did I do right?
I think it was a good argument. To be honest, I think sometimes overhyped trends, but people like to see references of past trends
I think
and
they
that you're
do.
paying attention.
Yeah.
You're so surprised.
I
have got to admit, I'm equally
I'm
as surprised as
flabbergasted.
I
that
think
got
you
that
make a
point.
good point, Tris. Yes, correct. We do need fresh creatives. However, I do think sometimes it's okay to reference them. I thought it was a good argument.
I thought it was brilliant. That's great.
We're going to give it to you.
In 36 episodes, that is the least likely. As okay, go on.
Should I take it back?
No,
Yes.
no,
Trying to be nice.
no back twos. That's great. I love this one.
Right.
So all I've got to do is just ask you what things mean and I win. Go.
But if you couldn't give a good answer
He
to
couldn't
it,
give a good answer. Next question. I am on a roll today, mate.
you got to verify it. You got to verify why your opinion is. What it is.
Otherwise it's just fake news.
Yeah.
Trump would.
Is he AI?
Is he AI?
Is he AI?
So good. This has made my Tuesday.
It doesn't say you have to verify the question. It says you've got to answer the question.
Okay, no, just let the quizmaster quiz.
Last question.
So how many points have you got now?
5.
15. Yeah, obviously.
Got to verify.
If I were a hotel GM in 2026.
Define hotel.
Yes. Define I.
Oh no, what have I done?
What is the concept of self?
I wouldn't rely on last year's ad creatives. Even top performing campaigns get stale fast.
I mean, yeah.
I don't care anymore. I'm not going
No,
to. I don't know how to answer this.
I do. That's because I'm paying attention. I think you'll rely. If you recall, Faces once said that I won a point for paying attention. Now,
basically, a point for participation is what you got.
I'll take the trophy. I'll take the. Can we have the points at the bottom of the screen? Okay. Can I just point to mine like this to point now that I've got more points at the minute? That's fine.
Can you also put on Faceless One's points here? Because quite frankly,
we're going to lose.
We're going to lose this.
We'll get the participation medal. Creative. Tris and I have spoken a lot about blindness, banner blindness in previous episodes.
Yeah, not blindness in general. Not medically.
Not medically
blindness. To talk about that.
No. Banner blindness, and we understand it's a thing, and there's been lots of research done on that. And you should have fresh creative. However, if something works and it's seasonal, I think it's okay to repeat. For example, if one person if you got really good, I remember specifically a very, very high performing winter creative we had for a New York property, and we only ran it in the end of November and to mid-December, and it killed it, absolutely killed it. And we stopped it then, and then transitioned to the other creative. We repeated that for, I want to say, 3 or 4 years.
Was that a New York property?
It was a New York property, yes. Okay. Which is different. I appreciate the averages there. But seasonal creative for a short period of time, if it works and nothing's changed materially, I think can be reused and have, as long as it gets similar results. I don't think there's anything wrong with reusing seasonal creative.
So you'd use one from January 2025 in December 2026?
No, November to December.
Well, yeah, I'm just picking those. Yeah, you do that.
No, at that specific time frame.
November to when? Sorry,
it was end of November to mid-December-ish for about a month.
Right. Okay, so November to December 2025, you'd use the same then for November, December 2026 in New York, in Manhattan.
Yeah.
But what about the beach? This is now, where does this come into it? So the creative doesn't work anymore.
Well, there's no beach.
Well, no, not according to you and the adverts that you've
no,
seen.
Because they no.
I guess, but how can you do it? You know, what about changes? So
there was no
so you can't do this. I mean, you talked about this. AI is coming in now, and AI is changing the world. You've said this yourself.
Okay.
How can you factor in that there's no beach on this one when there's a beach right here?
Great question.
Even in winter.
No, great question. Because I made the ads, and I didn't put a beach in the ad. There's no beaches in. If you can find a beach in Manhattan that's an actual beach, then you know what? I'll quit today.
Margaritaville. There's a beach inside. I'm sure there will be one in there somewhere.
Well, we've had a good one. No, I think we joke about creative. Obviously, you need to keep it fresh across the year. There's no point in putting out like winter ads in the middle of. Well, no, there might be actually, because you might be wanting to escape the heat or escape the cold. But if it's the middle of spring, you're not going to be putting out book your summer stay and show like Central Park covered in snow. I think, but I really do think if you are onto a winner with seasonal creative, and you and I have seen this, it's okay to repeat.
Yeah,
it's not okay to have generic retarget messages. I think across the year. That's what I think.
It depends on how you're defining reusing the creative. If you're,
I'm happy to define my definitions.
No. If you're talking about reusing the image, yes, and then mixing up the offer, because more often than not you don't have the same offer. Sometimes you do. Sometimes it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like what did we do last year?
Yeah.
Did it work? But I would say I would want to change and see if you can do something better. Like if you had a 25% off last year and it absolutely killed it, well, we'll 20% off do it just as well, and the cost savings or the money that you make there mean that you may not get the same level of performance on the ad, but you actually make more money because that 5% difference is huge. That would be the only thing that I would say is, but again, it comes down to the definition of what the creative is. Now that's the offer and not necessarily the image itself. So I would always advocate testing and mixing and changing it up, but I would use the same image to do it if it's actually killed it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have just that by itself. I would have that as part of the mix of offers because it did so well. The specific offer I'm talking about was the same offer, the same landing page, the same creative. It was an animated GIF. It was an animated GIF that had 4 icons that sort of flashed in order. It was really simple, but it worked. But you're talking like 60 to 1. Yeah. Like stupid numbers, stupid numbers. And I've never been able to do. Obviously, I don't make animated GIFs anymore because it's 2026. Or is it? Not that we're dating this. So to conclude that argument, seasonally, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But I wouldn't do it across the year. We would test as well.
Yeah,
I agree.
Great supporting argument, Tris. I also feel like I robbed you, so we're going to give you 2. Ben, you can have 1. Then it's a draw.
Okay, that's fine. Well done, Tris. Your argument was so good.
What, you give it to Ben?
No, you've got 2 points for that argument. I've got 1 point.
Oh, okay.
So the points stand. Wait.
So if
Ben still wins.
Yeah, I'm going to say, if we're to add all of that up.
Okay, you get 3 points. Well done.
Well done.
You get a pity point. Thank you.
Participation.
Bye.
I don't want that. What? But hang on a second. Hang on. Let's do a recount. So you got 3. I think you got 4 points, and I got 2 points, 3 points, and got 5,565,003. What we're gonna do? You have to beep that out. I mean, faceless one. Yeah, you have to beep that one out.
Like, can you mosaic his mouth as well so they can't even work out?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, in 36 episodes, that's the
first time we've actually said your name out loud.
Yeah.
That you're gonna jinx this now, mate.
Because it was the 3 and 6 one.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're so sorry, Hercules. I've said it again.
And on that note.